We are like the Dreamer, Part 14. We open in Twin Peaks. Kinda. We're with Gordon Cole. He's calling Lucy. They haven't talked in forever. Have you been here this whole time? Some nice bit of levity to start. He wants to talk to Truman. He gets to talk to Truman. It's not even the Truman he was expecting. But he tells him, we found Laura Palmer's diary, missing pieces, and there's some talk of 2 Coopers. He's like, I can't talk about it, but thank you. Now we're with the FBI. Albert is bringing Tammy up to speed on the Blue Rose, and us, the audience. You see, there was this lady named Lois Duffy, and there was Philip Jeffries and Gordon Cole. They were on the case. They bust in a hotel room. Olympia, Washington. God, I wish they would have shot this flashback. Kathleen Hanna playing Lois. So anyways, Lois Duffy is killing a lady. She's actually killing Lois Duffy. There's 2 Lois Duffys. As one of them's dying, she says, I am like the Blue Rose. She dies, she disappears in front of their eyes. Now this is crazy, but they both saw it, and so they started the Blue Rose Task Force. We get the first reference of the word tulpa. Now if you remember when season 3 came out, all you heard was tulpa, 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 tulpa. Not doppelganger, like of the past. Tulpa. Now we don't need to get into the whole Tibetan thing, like a manifestation of a tulpa. I'm more old school, where like, I was a full-on drug addict for 30 years. I have my own tulpa in the back of my head who I've talked to forever. No manifestation. Same but different. Diane enters the room. They need to talk to her about Mr. Briggs. Last night you saw Cooper. Did he mention Briggs? She doesn't want to talk about it, but she says, fine, yes, he did bring up Briggs. Well, remember how he died in that fire? Well, he just also died the other day. And luckily they bring this up. He had a wedding ring in his stomach, and it said, something about, I love you, Dougie, from your wife, Janie E., which is crazy coincidental. Diane has a sister in Vegas, estranged half-sister, hasn't talked to her in years, named Janie, but they call her Janie E. And her husband is named Douglas, but they call him Dougie. Now that's pretty crazy, but Lynch is like, fuck that. Let me tell you about my dream about Monica Bellucci. And we get the title of Part 14, We Are Like the Dreamer, who dreams, then lives inside the dream. But who is the dreamer? So he's telling everyone about this Monica dream, and that makes him think of some Fire Walk With Me footage with Philip Jeffries, who comes in mentioning dreams. Lynch is like, oh yeah. Albert's like, oh yeah. In Twin Peaks, we arrest Chad. We don't know for what. We've seen him do multiple crimes, but they don't say. They lock him up, and we got 4 silver foxes going on a hike in the woods. It's those 2 special days with the special time from the hum tube. So off to Jack Rabbit Palace they go. They get there, it's 2:53, the frickin' sky opens up, another funnel, same one that almost sucked up Gordon Cole, some mystic stuff happens, and there's a naked, was it part 2 or 3? Doesn't matter. The one that turned off the bell and fell into space. Well, her fall is complete. Through the portal, into the woods at Jack Rabbit Palace. Andy disappears. He's up in the black and white world from part 1. And he's with the giant, who now is not the giant. He's still the giant, but he's the fireman. He's even the fireman in the end credits. Every time we've seen him so far, in the credits, it has been question mark. Part 1, part 8, and probably more. Whenever we've seen him, he's been question mark. Not today. He is fireman. Him and Andy are there. Andy receives an offering, which is a Steam message, which goes up to a portal, which acts as a monitor. We get a lot of images, a lot of information. Andy just soaks it all up. Steam message comes down, disappears, back on Earth. We see our remaining 3 silver foxes kind of going through some dissolves. They snap to, they're like, what was that? I don't know, I don't understand what just happened. But Andy appears. He's got the woman in his arms. He totally takes control. Not like the Andy we're used to. She's important. We must protect her. Let's get her down the mountain. Physically, she's okay. We have to lock her up and protect her. And they do. And Chad's there. Because remember, he's locked up. And there's a bloody drunk bum who's pretty much Waldo the Mynah Bird, and he's just repeating anything anyone says. So our nice little lady, they got her a robe, and she's like scraping and chirping, and he's copying that. And Chad's going crazy, and he's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter what you say. He Mynah Birds it. We cut to James and Freddie. They're security guards. Freddy's his homie that wears the green glove. We've seen him in one scene at the Roadhouse. But now they're at work. They're back on the loading dock. They're telling war stories. They're trying to eat. See, his glove's too powerful. He's just smashing walnuts to dust. James helps him, says, hey, it's my birthday. Why don't you tell me about that glove you never take off? And he tells him a pretty wild story about leaving a bar over the pond, getting drunk with his mates, going home, doing some tomfoolery in an alley, climbed up some boxes, got a weird feeling, and saw a vortex in the sky. Got sucked up into it, talked to a gentleman named, that's right, the fireman. You say it twice, you get your name in the credits. Anyways, he tells him to go buy this glove from this store. There's going to be a package already opened with just one in it. That's the one you need. He comes to, he's just in his room. He's like, oh, that's weird. But he listens. He goes to the certain store, he goes to that aisle, finds an opened package, tries to buy the one glove. This fellow won't do it, says he can't buy the one that's open. He's like, well, I want this one. Bunch of arguing ensues. He doesn't steal it. He puts the money down and just leaves. The fellow chases him. While he's getting chased, he puts on the glove, and the dude tackles him. He just turns around and socks him. You're allowed to, he just tackled him. Anyway, he smashes the dude's head up, crashes his neck. He realizes he has the power of a pile driver. So anyways, he remembers some more stuff from the vortex that he didn't remember at first. I'm supposed to go get a plane ticket to America, to Washington State, to Twin Peaks. He goes to do that, ticket's already purchased. It's already there waiting for him. And that brings us to the present. Sitting on a loading dock, telling birthday boy the story. We go to the Elks Club. Sarah's trying to have some drinks. There's some dude being an asshole, saying a bunch of stuff that's crazy that no one would ever say to anyone. And so she tops him. She's like, oh, you want to be crazy and say some stuff that no one would ever say to anyone? She takes off her face and says, you want to fuck with this? Puts it back on and just evaporates his neck. He falls down totally dead. Just like her daughter, she can take her face off. So there has been something in her this whole time. We end at the Roadhouse. There's some band. There's another booth of people we don't know talking about who knows what. But this time they're talking about Billy. We've heard of Billy, and we've heard of Billy again. Now we're hearing about him a third time. And I'm starting to think, oh, this must be Tina. Remember Audrey said, oh, it's the last person to talk to him? But then she's like, my mom was banging Billy. Her friend's like, what? And then says, what was your mom's name again? Tina. Okay, so this is Tina's kid telling the story. And none of that was a dream. This really happened.